Welcome to this episode of Mainline Connect. Our guest today is Maria Delany, owner of Luella Boutique. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And tell us a little bit about Luella.
Well, Luella is a ladies' boutique, a women's boutique, or it's known in the business as a specialty store.
Okay.
And we sell clothing, jewelry, and accessories. And our customer ranges in age from, say, 15 to 80.
Wow.
So our real target customer is 30-something to 60-something, but we do have younger and older customers as well.
And you have 2 locations in the Mainline area, is that right?
Yes, one on Lancaster Avenue in Wayne, right across from the Starbucks. And then our second location opened last November in Malvern on King Street.
Okay. So normally when we start the show, we like to kind of talk about a networking topic that might help some other small business owners out there in the community. And I've noticed just following you guys, and obviously loving the store and everything, that you're very big with social media. You make a really big effort to promote, everything you have going on as far as events and helping the community, and then obviously your product lines and fun gifts and, what's on trend and for the season and that sort of thing. So I wanted to kind of get a sense from you of how you feel like that's helped grow your business.
Well, social media has been tremendous for us, and I think for the world in general, because it's like a ever-shrinking world, because I can, through Instagram, become friends with someone in London and start to follow what they do and get ideas and inspiration. So, and I'm an extremely visual person, and I think that's the beauty of social media, is it's visual. And I know Twitter's really popular too, but for me, I do tweet through connections. It's all now the social medias are interlinked. So when I put something on Instagram, I can just tap a button and it goes to Facebook and Twitter.
Sure.
But I predominantly, I'm super visual, so I love the Instagram, the Facebook. And
are you big on Pinterest?
I love Pinterest.
Okay. Do you guys, I'm not big on Pinterest, so do you post a lot of things for the store on Pinterest? Or?
I don't, but I get more inspiration from it.
Okay.
It's the social media, I could, if I only was doing marketing for the store, which I would love to be in that position, but I have to be a plumber and an electrician and a computer technician and all that stuff. So you could spend all day on these social. So you kind of have to pick what you think is best for your business, your customers, and your reach.
And do you personally do the social media?
I do all my social media.
You do it all yourself?
I get help with my staff. I have a few staff members who are admins, and they'll pop stuff on. And I like that because it changes it up a little bit, but primarily I do it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you do well that I think, is really great for small business owners to hear about, whether it's a boutique or a different kind of business, is that you really try to engage with people who like and comment on your posts, because I think a lot of businesses put content out there. This is a special we're running, or here's a product we have, and then when people start to engage, there's not really that kind of ebb and flow of conversation where it goes back and forth. And so I feel like you guys are very responsive. If people put something up, oh, is this available at this location, or do you still have this in stock, or what other colors does this come in? You're very much on the ball with getting that information out there, and I think people really, that resonates with people. People really enjoy that. So I think that's helped you a lot too.
It has, and we love hearing from our customer.
Yeah.
We love when our customer puts a picture on Facebook of themselves in our clothes or our accessories. So it's just, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah. And as me personally, I'm also a dog lover like you, and you have a little dog, Oliver, that is the cutest thing ever. And I noticed, he's usually at your store at a lot of your events. And I know for me, my dogs are kind of a big part of my own marketing. And I love that. So, he's been kind of a big draw,
huge.
I
have little kids walk in the door and they're like, is Oliver here?
Right.
And he's there pretty much every day that I'm there. He loves going to work.
Yeah.
I feel like having my own business where I can bring my dog to work I feel like so fortunate that we're able to do that. He's actually written into the lease in the Malvern store because the lease said no animals, and I was like, I can't sign this lease if my dog can't come to work.
Oh, wow.
So we have a little addendum there. The landlord was very accommodating.
Well, he's very well behaved, Oliver.
He's a good boy. He loves going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I love seeing him up on your social media. So, yeah, so I think that's helpful for people to know. I think, a lot of people feel that, even though social media is big in society in general, should I really be making the push? Should I be spending the time? How can it benefit me and my business? And I think for you, it's worked out really well.
I think it's been incredible.
Yeah.
And it's, relatively speaking, very low cost advertising.
Exactly. It's kind of all the time you want to put into it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, kind of stepping back, I know a little bit about your background just from the information that you gave me before we came on here, but did you always want to be an entrepreneur? Was that something you aspire to?
I never really thought about it.
Okay.
I knew that when I was in high school, I worked in retail. I worked for a department store and a jewelry store, and I did their engraving.
Okay.
And I loved jewelry. I explored the idea of becoming a gemologist, but that was a little too technical for me. And then when I went to college, I would have loved to study fashion merchandising, but that wasn't really a respected degree way back when I was in college. It was, it wasn't very popular. So I went ahead and got a degree in business. And I just wanted to be able to get a job and work and make enough money to buy a car. So I worked in the corporate world for a number of years and enjoyed that. But this was sort of always in the back of my mind, having my own business and having something on the more creative side versus the corporate side.
So, from what I read, you started kind of making accessories or selling accessories on your own, and it was outside of a storefront. You were kind of just doing it.
Right. It was like a cottage industry. I started making bracelets and wine charms.
Okay.
Going to bead shows, buying beads, and making jewelry. And I made, Swarovski crystal bracelets with your children's names.
Okay.
And I did fundraisers and trunk shows and home shows. And that's how I got started. And that's when my kids were younger.
Okay.
And so I could work it into my lifestyle.
Were you still working in the corporate world at that time?
No. After my second was born, I stayed home with my daughter, and then started making doing my craft business.
So tell me about the transition from doing things like that, where it was kind of on your own schedule at home, being creative and making the products, to starting a storefront.
The transition, it was about a 10-year evolution, so I think I gained a lot of knowledge and experience, which really helped me, because it's very complicated running a store with employees, with all the back business taxes and insurance and all that stuff. It's a lot more complicated than it looks. So, but I gradually, like doing my cottage business, I would do, say, an event, and some events required that you had insurance to be a vendor. So I learned about that. So I kind of learned it step by step, and then I had a business partner. So we learned about sharing the responsibility and scheduling and that type of stuff. So it was a really good progression for me. I think I really benefited. I would never recommend anybody, go ahead, open a store.
Just jump in.
Yeah,
right.
It's not.
Yeah.
You really need to learn the business.
Industry. Yeah. Yeah, because you had the business degree, and then you had these years of experience in the industry as well before you even opened a storefront.
Right, and I got to know how to read what the customer likes. I can't just go and buy what I like and open my store and say, come buy my my selections.
My favorite things. Yeah.
You have to really learn how to match your customer and price points.
Sure.
And it's easy to go and buy really expensive things
that are
everybody
beautiful.
loves them, but it's hard to sell them.
Sure. No, that's a big concern. And from what I was reading about you, you started your first storefront in 2009. Is that right?
Yes.
And that date's kind of stuck in my mind because of course, society in general went through a recession in 2008, and I've talked to so many people who say their businesses went downhill or it was a bad time to start a business, and yet here you are, very successful, having started your first storefront in 2009. Was that difficult? Was it a hard time to get out there and start a storefront, and kind of what made you do that at that time when a lot of things were kind of crumbling business-wise around you?
Right. I know. I didn't even really give it much thought at the time because I was ready, and it actually worked to our advantage because we were able to get a nice location at a discounted rate. So, the real estate market was soft, so the rent was very attractive, which made it really great. And it was time for me to go back to work because my kids were getting older and I was ready. And I thought I loved my jewelry making business, but I knew I had to either work full time, go back to corporate, or really pursue my business. And I decided to take the leap.
Okay.
And it got out of the gates and did great.
Yeah. So your first storefront you opened was with a partner, and then in 2012 you opened Luella on your own?
Yes.
Okay. And so what made you decide in 2012 to open Luella on your own?
Well, it's just, it's very, having a business partner is challenging, and especially in a creative business where you want to have your signature on what you do. So I just decided, I was afraid to do a business by myself. I was, afraid of all the hours, still being a mom. I still have, had younger kids. But after, again, it was that experience thing. I learned through those 3 years what it takes to run a store, and I learned that you can hire fabulous people who really do the job when you're not there.
Yeah.
And so I felt confident that I could do it on my own and really make it my signature.
Yeah, and I think you've done that. Yeah, I think, for people who haven't been in the store, I mean, you should definitely come in. But the way it's designed and everything's presented, do you do that all of yourself? I mean, as far as the design and what you have in there, do you have people that help you with the layout?
I have help with almost everything that I do. Because
it all looks so beautiful.
Well, collaboration, I think, I have ideas. I'm very visual. When I see something, I know what I like. I had a designer who picked a wallpaper based on, what my input was. But then I was like, well, how about if we reverse it? I want green with white versus white with green.
Right.
And everybody loves, we have a beautiful bathroom at the store.
Yeah, the whole store is beautiful. Yeah.
And the fireplace
I mean, there's a nice, beautiful loungy area, and you just want to sit out there and hang out, which is nice. Yeah.
That's what makes it so special. And it's an old building that we renovated, and we kept a lot of the elements. That was where Rocco the barber lived, where the fireplace is. That was his living room.
Oh, wow. So you kept it as a living room.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. So what about the name Luella? Where did you decide to get that from?
Well, when I decided to launch my own store, I really gave a lot of thought. And I actually met with a branding person to talk about names. I had a lot of names. I had some family names. My grandmother worked at a dress shop up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I explored, versions of her name, maybe the dress shop where she worked, my kids' names. But then Luella, do you know Luella was the first owner of the first mansion in Wayne, had 2 daughters named Louisa and Ella.
No, I didn't know that.
And he named the village Luella.
Okay.
So, and it was named Luella until it was renamed for General Anthony Wayne.
Okay.
So, Wayne and Luella is what makes my business so successful. It is Wayne is such a special community. And there aren't a lot of community. It's still like a small town feel.
Yeah.
And so I thought I really need to. That's what I really identify with, the town of Wayne, and that's why we decided Luella was the best name for the business.
So, there's lots of great women's boutiques all along the main line. Tell me what sets Luella apart.
I think the number one thing is my staff.
Okay.
I have
you do a great staff.
Incredible employees.
Yeah.
And the customer service is so warm and helpful. And there are a lot of women who really want help. They may have a great figure but don't really know how to dress. Yeah. And my staff, we'll work for hours with someone, and we have all different price points. So it's not just, you can come in and you can find a dress for $78.
Right. There's not a lot of places you can do that. Yeah.
Right. But we also have that designer dress that may be a little bit more. But not everybody wants to splurge like that. So we really want women to feel good about how they look.
Yeah. And you also have great costume jewelry. I think better than most places I've seen around the area. Yeah. And also a great price point.
Right.
You can come in and find a fabulous statement necklace, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can update that, that poncho that you may have with a new necklace, and it's not a big investment, but you're going to feel good about it.
Yeah. So then you opened the second location in Malvern, and so that's still pretty recent, 2014, right?
November 5th,
Okay.
2014.
Okay, so pretty recent.
Yes.
Yeah. So how is it now kind of running the two stores? You know, I mean, are you going from place to place every day? Is it a tough balance?
I've got a great manager out in Malvern, great staff out there. I spend more time in Wayne because that's where the office is.
Okay.
But we love Malvern. It's got its own vibe out there. It's different, and it's funny because people in Malvern think Wayne is far away and vice versa, and it's exactly 7 miles.
How is the clientele different?
It's a little bit different because it pulls more from Chester County.
Okay.
Versus Wayne is more Eastern Main Line. That's a little more Western Main Line. But then we have people who shop at both.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different. We actually have a lot of ladies from Hershey's Mill who like to come to Malvern and walk. And you know, we have the Malvern Stroll. And and one of my inspirations for moving to Malvern was Christopher's Restaurant, which is my favorite restaurant in Wayne. Well, they opened in Malvern, and I thought, wow, I can't go wrong being near Christopher's.
Sure.
So, and that's a nice, and we've got some, you know, the Malvern Buttery is such a cool place.
Yeah.
So there's so much. Malvern's just got its own little brand out there, and it's really special.
Sounds like it's worked out great so far. I mean, you know, there's a lot of businesses that I've seen where, you know, they bite the bullet, let's say, at the wrong time to start a second location. And, you know, it seems like things have worked out really well for you. So I think, again, it's about a lot of the experience you've had and the timing and kind of studying the community and the clientele. And again, like you said, your staff. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. I think some businesses just pull the trigger. We just need to expand, and they open another location, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right. You have to be careful with that. And I had actually explored like Princeton area because I have friends up there, and I love that area. And being 7 miles away seems to be a sweet spot because if someone's shopping in the Malvern store, they're inspired enough that they'll come shop in the Wayne store too.
Sure.
So it's not exclusive to each other. So we send customers back and forth, or we'll transfer merchandise because some people they're afraid of parking in Wayne, and which, by the way, we have free parking in the front and the back. We have lots of parking, which is nice.
I've never had a problem parking there. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, one of the things I've noticed over the years of knowing you and the boutiques is that you're very involved in community endeavor. So, you do a lot of fundraisers and shopping nights. Why is that something that's so important for you?
Well, I just think it's how I was raised to be giving to the community, and it feels so good to be able to support. I mean, my favorite, you know, nonprofits are animal rescues, but you know, schools. The Cristo Rey School is a special school in Philadelphia that has it's a work study program for disadvantaged kids, and it's privately sponsored by corporations. And my customer is a big supporter of that, and I love being able to. It's in the networking piece of it.
Yeah.
So people will come in and shop for this event. They'll learn more about this nonprofit. They may even be inspired to volunteer.
Sure.
And so it's just so rewarding, and I really wish I could do that full time and retire and just do philanthropy, but
and I think it works vice versa for you too. I mean, you know, as you get to know your customers, like even somebody like me, you know, you get to know causes that are important to people, and then you say, you know, we'd love to help out, and you know, let's have an event. And so I think, you know, you really get to know your customers, what's important to them, what's important to you, and how you can help. And it's beyond the clothes. It's beyond the clothes and jewelry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have what's called a 10 and 10 party.
Okay.
And I found that I used to do parties where, you know, we'd have a, you know, say Radnor ABC or whatever, and we would give 10% back to the nonprofit. And then I found that if I could give the customer 10% off and 10% back to the nonprofit, it just gains a lot of momentum. People feel good about giving back. They also feel good about getting a little something for themselves, and it's a great opportunity for the members of this nonprofit to network and socialize.
Yeah.
We've got that setting with the fireplace in the living room that's just a fun place to have a glass of wine and sit by the fire and
hang out with Oliver.
Hang with Oliver.
So, you know, you've brought a couple things on your person today that I'd love to talk about. You know, we're at the holiday time.
Right.
And we're actually, you know, looking at Christmas very soon. So I know people are out there trying to find, you know, different price points and last minute gifts. And you bought this beautiful candle for me. Thank you so much. And tell us about this. This is a great little like hostess gift.
Right. This is a great candle. It's the Fraser Fir.
Okay.
That's the fragrance. So it smells like the most fragrant Christmas tree you can imagine. And it's been nicknamed Christmas Crack because people are addicted to it. It's such a great, fresh, clean
That's great.
winter scent.
Yeah.
So that's very popular. We also...
And this is beautifully presented too. Like, you know, you can come in and then you can take this with you. I mean, who doesn't love that?
Right. Our holiday theme hashtag is wrapped and ready.
Okay.
And so we feel that if people see it as a gift, it's gonna make it easy for them to pick up who has time to wrap. So we have a number of wrapped gifts in the store, and we will gift wrap if that helps out. People will leave their merchandise and come back. So wrapped and ready is the theme. Yes,
I think that's really smart because, I mean, first of all, that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning about your social media. Having those branded hashtags, you know, that people associate with your store is great, and I love the wrapped and ready. And then the idea of just people coming in and visualizing, you know, they already see that they can just pick this up.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, who doesn't want that for the holidays? You have enough stress. Yeah.
Well, and wrapped and ready also goes to it's a double meaning by a wrap.
Oh, right.
Wraps.
Yeah.
This is,
so tell us about what you're wearing.
This is a cashmere wrap by 2B's Cashmere,
which I love.
Washable cashmere, which is phenomenal. And wraps are flying out the door because they're one size fits most.
Yes.
So we have some that are more suited for tall people, some more suited for shorter people, but we have such a variety of wraps, and we have them everywhere from 28 to 200.
Okay.
We've got Lily Pulitzer wraps with a little bit of Lurex sparkle. This is my personal favorite. I love it.
I love it, and I love the color.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's a nice bright color for the holidays. Basically, everything you're wearing is from the store, right?
Yes.
So with the shirt that goes underneath the necklace. Tell us about some of the other items that people can get at the store.
So the necklace, it's just fashion jewelry. It's a $38 necklace. Fringe
Very
and
big.
tassels are huge this season.
Yeah.
So we've got this is new, and then we've got our power beads by Jen. These are very special to us. Jen is a local jewelry designer who suffered a traumatic brain injury training for a marathon. She was on her bike and got hit by a car.
Okay.
And was in very bad shape and someone gave her a medal for inspiration, a religious medal. And she was carrying it around and ended up stringing it on some beads and then started her business. And these fly out the door. People stack them.
They look great.
She does an autism bracelet. She does a yoga collection. She does some are religious medals. She'll have Christian medals, Star of David. They're very meaningful to the people, and it's very meaningful because we love Jen. She's our friend now,
and there's such a great personal story behind it too, of inspiration and giving inspiration
and
to other people
repurposing, like taking those medals.
Absolutely.
Like if you have, say, medals from your family. She will put it on the beads, and the beads, the different types of stones have, like, some mean strength, some mean courage.
Okay, that's
so
wonderful.
These are really special to us.
And what's the price point of those bracelets?
These are $52.
Okay, so that's very reasonable. Yeah, and I love the way you've stacked them. And then the pants also, Luella?
Yes.
Yeah.
These are actually last season.
Okay.
They're vegan leather.
They're fabulous.
Which is I really love anything faux. I'm not I'm an animal lover, so I love vegan leather and faux fur.
Okay.
And the vegan leather trend is still going strong. A lot of, vegan leather trim. You're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah. And what I like about the pieces you're wearing is pretty much anybody can wear them almost anywhere. Especially with the wraps. I mean, you can throw it on casual. You can throw it on more formal. As you said, it fits all or most people. So I think there's always that aspect when you come into a store, I'm not having a good day. Maybe the size dress I want won't fit me, but this is always going to look good.
They make the perfect gift.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I have the Eden poncho at $42. I can't keep them in stock because it's the perfect gift because, you know, you go places are air conditioned, places are cool, hot, and then the Eden poncho you can wear as a scarf too.
Yeah.
So it's just,
and it
so
looks so
versatile.
put together too, so which is really nice because it's still comfortable, but it's not like, you know, wearing your workout clothes around.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which we all love to do.
Right. So the earrings too, Luella? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the price point on those?
They're $24.
Okay, those are beautiful.
A lot of fashion earrings for $24.
Yeah. So what, you know, this is a great hostess gift. I know the last time I was in, you had some really nice holiday trays that said things like Merry and Bright.
Merry and Bright, Celebrate.
Yeah.
And we have really cute wooden frames that say family.
I loved those. Yeah. Yeah. So those are great
what
things
fun.
to pick up.
Yep. You know, so yeah, we have a lot. We try, you know, and the other thing that's really popular is we have a band called the Hip Sister that you wear over your yoga pants.
Okay.
That holds your keys when you exercise, your keys in your phone.
Okay.
And it's also become very popular for European travel, for your passport to wear under your clothes, or say you're going to a concert.
Yeah.
You don't want to carry a bag.
Right.
And a lot of places are prohibiting bags. So it's just a discreet band. It looks like the top band of a yoga pant. Those make a great gift. And we're always thinking ahead for everybody has gift exchanges and Yankee swaps and Pollyanna parties, which are a lot of fun. And you want your gift to be the one that gets stolen and retired. And so when we're going to the gift show and to the accessory show, we're thinking that's going to be the big Pollyanna gift. So
yeah, I think that's something that's helped make you so successful. You're always thinking about the customer and what's next, and like you said, the different price points and everything, which I think some boutiques on the main line don't necessarily think about the price point, and that's why people, you know, feel like they can come in and always get something great at Luella, no matter if they can spend $50 or $300.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing we do, which is we ask our customers to hunt for us.
Yeah.
And if they say, oh, I'm going to Arizona, I'm like, well, check out the stores. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you like.
Tell me what you like. Right.
And they'll take pictures and send them to me. So it's
Yeah.
great because they feel like they're a part of it, and they are. The customers have helped me define my product lines.
Yeah.
And they'll come to me, and there's this, you know, a new brand, or my friend is launching a line of yoga clothing. Would you be interested? Yes. We always will start off with a trunk show to test market it, and it's so we do a lot. We do a lot of trunk shows at our stores, and
I've noticed that.
And
That's
there's
great.
the Malvern Stroll, and we always we'll bring in people who make, you know, smackaroons, which is a type of, you know, a macaroon.
Yeah.
It's one of my reps started her own company, and she makes these great macaroons. So we featured them, and everybody gets to sample them, which is always fun.
That's always fun. Yeah. So tell people how to reach you, how to get in touch with you if they want to come to the store, or online, or phone number, whatever you want to provide.
Okay, well.
Yeah, and you can look in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can reach us at our phone number is 610-293-9800. That's in the Wayne store. We would love for you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see the kind of things that we carry. We post every day. We have a lot of visuals on what we carry. You can always message us on Facebook. You and I message back and forth.
Absolutely.
And our phone number in Malvern is 610-722-4900. So stop in and see us, book a party with us, bring your friends.
Yeah.
We'll provide wine and cheese, and everybody gets a discount, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have as successful holiday season as I'm sure you always do. And I'm always excited to come in and see what new things you have going on. So please check out Luella, either location if you haven't yet. Wonderful price points, wonderful merchandise, and, you know, wonderful people to yourself and your staff. You know, so please check it out if you haven't been in yet. And happy holidays.
Thank you so much.